morning. Today we are applying exponent properties involving quotients. Now, last time we did multiply or products. This time we're doing quotients, which is divide. So I'm just going to switch my colors here. Make this one blue, and I'll make this one red. Alright, so we are simplifying. Now remember, simplifying, not solving. So we're simplifying 8 to the 10th over 8 to the 4th. So what that's saying is that the top of my equation here has 10 eighths. So I'm going to write it down here, 8 times 8 times 8 times 8. That's 6 eighths, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The bottom has 4 eighths only, so 8 times 8 times 8 times 8. So if we remember, when we're just doing multiplying, or dividing, 8 divided by 8 would be 1. So what I can do is take this 8, divide that by 8, that's 1. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 8 divided by 8 is 1. And 8 divided by 8 is 1. So I take a look at what I'm left with. I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 eighths. So my solution would be 8 sixths. 8 to the 6th, sorry. This next one is saying I have 9 negative 3's. It would be negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. So negative 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just one more. And on the bottom I have 3 negative 3's. So I can just cross these out. 1, 2, 3. What I'm left with is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 negative 3's. So my solution is negative 3 to the 6th power. Now you may have noticed that we could just take 10 minus 4 and get 6, and 9 minus 3 and get 6. So basically all we're doing is subtracting. This next one we have two numbers on the top. Here we have 5 to the 4th, so we have 4 5's. We also have 5 to the 8th, so we also have 8 more 5's. So then on the bottom we have 7 5's. So 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, 7 times. So now we can cross these out until we get rid of all of our denominators, which leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5's. So our solution would be 5 to the 5th power. Now this top one is multiplied, so we could have just added them. 4 plus 8 is 12, minus 7 is 5. Now this one, if we were to put a 1 under here, that's just saying 1 times x to the 6th, which is just x to the 6th, over x to the 4th times 1, which is just x to the 4th. So if we were subtracting these, x to the 6th minus x to the 4th, we get x squared, or x to the 2nd power. Next one, now we have parentheses. Now this 3 is saying we have 3 groups of this, whatever's in the parentheses. So we have a negative 5 over y. Now I'm going to put that negative with the 5. I could put it with a y, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to put negative 5 over y here and negative 5 over y here. So now this is saying that I have negative 5 3 times over y 3 times. But we could simplify this even more. Negative 5 to the third power. Negative 5 times negative 5 is 25. Times another negative 5, we get a negative 125 over y to the third power, y cubed. Here we're saying we have two groups of a over b. So a over b times a over b. So we have two a's, a squared over b squared. And that's our answer. Here we have three groups of x over y. So x over y times, oh, 1 second, I made a mistake here. Let me get rid of this. X over y times x over y. So on the top we have x cubed because we have three x's. Bottom we have three y's, so y cubed. And the last one, we have two groups of negative 7 over x. Negative 7 times negative 7 is a positive 49 over x times x, which is x squared. Alright, if we're going on, here we get a little bit bigger. This is saying we have three groups of 4x squared over 5y. So if we write that out then, we have 4x squared over 5y times 4x squared over 5y times 4x squared over 5y. So what we're left with then is 4 times 4 times 4, which is 4 to the third, and x. Now this is saying we have two x's on each of these. So how many x's total do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have x to the sixth over 5 times 5 times 5, which is 5 cubed, and y times y times y, which is y cubed. Now we could leave it at this, or we could get even simpler. We could do the 4 to the third power, so it would be 4 times 4 times 4, and that is going to give us 64. So 64x to the sixth over 5 squared, or 5 cubed, which is 125 y cubed. Next one we have 2, so x squared over 4y times x squared over 4y. So that's saying we have 1, 2, 3, 4 x's on the top, so x to the fourth times 4 times 4, which is actually just 16, and y times y, which is y squared. Next one, we have 5 of these. So we have a squared, so a squared over b times a squared over b times a squared over b. We're going to do that 5 times. Now we also have a 1 times 2a squared, so that's just the same 1 times 2a, or 1 divided by 2a squared. So what we have on the top is we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 a's over or times 1, so a to the 10th. Now we're going to write this in alphabetical order. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 b's, so b to the 5th. We also have a 2, and we have 2 a's, so a squared. Now this is not simplified yet because we have a's on the top and a's on the bottom. On the top we have 10 a's. On the bottom we have 2, so we could do 10 minus 2, and we would get a to the 8th power over 2 times b to the 5th power. Next we have 3 of these, so 2s over 3t. We have 3 of those, so 2s over 3t and 2s over 3t. Now we also have t to the 5th over 16. So what we have then is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8 s cubed, and t to the 5th over 3 times 3 times 3 is 27 times 16. That gives us 432 t cubed. Now we can simplify this. Let's simplify our t's first. 5 minus 3, that gives us 2 t's. We just have our s cubed. And then we can do 8 and divided by 432. So 8 divided by 432, that's going to give you a fraction, but if we do 432 divided by 8, that's 1 over, so 1s to the 1s cubed t squared over 54. So 8 goes into 432 54 times. Alright, next one we have z8 over 1. So we have z 8 times. And then we have z 7 times on the bottom. So if we cross them out, then we have only one z left. So our answer is just z, or z over 1. Here we have 4 to the 9th power. So 4 to the 9th over 1 times, now we have negative 1/4 5 times. So negative 1 over 4 times negative 1 over 4 times negative 1 over 4 times negative 1 over 4 and negative 1 over 4. Alright, so we have how many negative 1s? Negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 of these are going to make a positive. 2 of these would make a positive, and this becomes a negative. So negative 1 times 4 to the 9th. Well, that gives us a negative 4 to the 9th over 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, that's 4 to the 5th, or 5 fours. That gives us 1,024. So, if we were to go on to the next one, well, let's see, could we simplify this at all? Well, let's do it like this. On the bottom we have 4 or 5 fours, so we have 4 to the 5th power. So we could simplify this, and 4 to the 9th minus 4 to the 5th, so we get a negative 4 over, or negative 4 to the 4th power. There we go. That's a better answer than what we had. Alright, next one we have 2 negative 5 over x's. And we have 2x to the 4th over y cubed. So what we have then, if we simplify this, negative 5 times negative 5, that's 25. I'm just going to change color here so it's easier to see. So that's 25. And 2 times 2, that's 4. So 25 times 4 gives us 100. And x to the 4th plus x to the 4th, it gives us x to the 8th. Down here we have 2 x's, so x cubed. And y to the 6th. So now we could simplify these by taking away some of our x's. X to the 8th minus x squared would make 100 x to the 6th over y to the 6th. Alright, last one. We have 3 of these, so 2x cubed over y times 2x cubed over y times 2x cubed over y times 1 over 6x squared, or cubed. So on the top we have 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. X cubed 3 times, so x to the 9th over 6x cubed y cubed. So we can simplify these then. So I could see what goes into both 8 and 6, and that's 2. So it would make this 4 over 3. And then 9 minus 3, so I get x to the 6th on top and y cubed on bottom. Alright, last one. The luminosity in watts of a star is the total amount of energy emitted from the star per unit of time. The order of magnitude of the luminosity of the sun is 10 to the 26th watts. The star Canopus is one of the brightest stars in the sky. The order of magnitude of the luminosity of Canopus is 10 to the 30th watts. How many times more luminous is Canopus than the sun? Well, Canopus we know is 10 to the 30th. And we know that our sun is 10 to the 26th. So 10 to the 30th and 10 to the 26th, then we did 30 minus 26. We'd get 10 to the 4th power. Now if we wanted to simplify that, that's just saying there's 4 zeros. So it'd be 10 plus 1, 2, 3 more zeros. So it's